Sabri, why are you talking to me about the world's most expensive bed? Who on earth is gonna spend dollars, and how do you justify that? It has so much psychological triggers. It's like a minefield of persuasion and justification. This is the most expensive bed in the world. One of these bad boys will run you over 400,000 US dollars. Celebrities like Drake, Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie, and Tom Cruise all have one of these, and it's called the Vividus. So what makes this bed so expensive? Well, first up, it's made by a Swedish company called Hästens, and they have been making beds for over 170 years. And their beds range anywhere from 10,000 USD all the way up to 400,000 US dollars, which is over 580,000 Australian dollars or $500,000. And these beds are made to last 50 to 100 years. They're made from all natural materials and fibers, including real horsehair, wool, cotton, and flax. And Hästens will even send a team of people to your house 3 to 4 times per year just to flip your mattress. Drake says, "The bedroom is where I come to decompress from the world at the end of night, and where I open my eyes to seize the day." So you might be thinking like, dude, Sabri, why are you talking to me about the world's most expensive bed? Well, it's not only the most expensive bed in the world, but it's also the best. And today I'm gonna be dissecting a masterclass in story copy and how they really put together a VSL and how to justify people to spend over $400,000 on a bed. And right now, you're probably thinking like, who on earth is gonna spend $400,000 and how do you justify that? Well, I'm gonna show you exactly with like this e-commerce VSL that they've put together. And this thing is over 12 years old and it has so much psychological triggers. It's like a minefield of persuasion and justification because people buy off emotion and then they justify with logic. And I'm gonna show you how Hästens has masterfully put together a VSL that hits on all of those little trigger points and then justifies the purchase. So let me roll it now and I'll break down each different step and I'll show you all the little elements that they've used, the little triggers that they've used, and the way that they're kind of peppering in the validation of somebody spending such an enormous amount of money on a bed.
This company has been around since 1852 with one single idea in focus. No, actually, it isn't just an idea. It's a passion. A passion that has made Hästens march to their own drummer for 5 generations and made a company #1 in the world when it comes to building beds by hand from natural materials.
All right, so this just starts off, you might be saying like, okay, Sabri, there's nothing really crazy here. It's just this dude with this deep European voice telling me about the history of the company. And so he's obviously peppering in what's going on. You can see up on screen, like what's all this fabric that's coming out. And this is the real horsehair that's kind of coming out. But I'm gonna skip ahead to the 2-minute mark and basically show you where the persuasion starts to come in and the justification of this purchase.
You spend 25 years of your life sleeping, a third of your time here on Earth. Everything we do at Hästens is about turning that important third of your life into something other than a sweaty, stressful transport between the bedside lamp and the alarm clock.
All right, straight away, there we go. You spend 1/3 of your life in bed and then hitting on the pain points. You don't want it to be like stressed out experience where it's sweaty, you're reaching for the alarm clock. They're justifying it with just the sheer amount of time that you are actually gonna spend in a bed. And then now they're gonna start to weave in and pepper in even more justification.
It should be something that does you good, something you long for and enjoy. You see, a good quality of sleep makes for a good quality of life.
A good quality of sleep makes up a good quality of your life. And that's a true statement. But it would be easy just to talk about the springs and how many layers of different fabric that there is in there, or to talk about the bed sizes. But no, we're really peeling back the onion here, and we're talking about the end benefit of the end benefit.
The better your nights are, the better your days will be. Your sleep affects your immune system, your healing ability, your temper, your memory, your fitness, your learning ability.
So we've gone from just improving the quality of your sleep, and we've moved beyond that to just improving the overall quality of your life, your immune system, your ability for your body to heal itself, your memory, all of these other benefits that are stemming from the actual vehicle that they're providing, which is better sleep.
Even your aging process slows down.
Boom, your aging process slows down. Another big point. If you think about like, okay, who are the people that are gonna be spending 100, 200, 300, 400K on a bed? They're probably gonna be later on in life. They're probably gonna be concerned about their aging. They're just layering one thing at a time in terms of justifying the purchase and justifying the purchase price. We're not gonna be talking about the price of it, but they already know what the price is. So by talking about slowing down the aging process, reducing the number of wrinkles that you get. We thought that we were just learning about beds. Now we're talking about the quality of our life, our immune system, our aging process. It just builds and builds and builds.
This is for a long, healthy life. Of course, we can't promise that you'll sleep better in a Hästens. But we've done everything to ensure that you will. And that's a promise. Your bed is...
Even that, at this point, the hype is starting to build, talking about all the benefits, and then they come around and kind of have a damaging omission. Of course, we can't guarantee better sleep in our bed. So you know that I talk a lot about guarantees in marketing, and specifically when to use them, how to use them, and how to really make your market a Godfather offer. But there's also power in something like this where it's almost you're mentioning a damaging omission, and then you're really showing all the efforts that you go into really being able to guarantee something that you can't guarantee.
Your bed is the most important piece of furniture in your life. Isn't that worth investing in?
So they're justifying the purchase by even comparing and contrasting it to other items in your house and telling you that your bed is going to be the most important piece of furniture in your entire home.
Isn't that worth investing in? Compare how much money you spend on your waking time and how little on your sleeping time. Your dream time. You probably pay more for parking your car than for sleeping well.
There we go again. Another comparison and contrast where they literally are saying, compare how much that you spend on your waking time compared to your sleeping time. You probably spend more on car parking. What a phenomenal comparison. People hate paying for parking. And if you have a look at what you pay per parking per day, and you have a look at that over the course of the year, it's just a great thing to reduce it down to the ridiculous, to compare that and to get even more contrast to really justify the purchase.
After all these years, we haven't found anything that beats pure natural horsehair in a mattress. Washed, steamed, treated and cleaned so that it's totally free from any allergy-forming substances.
Okay, now, only now, we are 3.5 minutes into their 9-minute VSL, almost a 10-minute VSL, and we haven't really started talking about any features of the product at all. Only right now, almost at the halfway mark of the VSL, do we start discussing product features. And you'll notice that straight out the gate, he's starting to pepper in what their unique mechanism is. What makes this product different? What makes it new and unique from all the other alternatives that exist on the marketplace? Because beds are a commodity. So you're not just coming out and talking about springs or anything like that straight out the gate. They're talking about that they have never found anything that's as high quality as this certain element that they're using in their bed. So I'll keep rolling it and we're about to unpack even more.
Horsehair is also nature's own air conditioning. Each hair is a little tube that transports away moisture and brings in fresh air.
Fantastic analogy. So they use real horsehair and they don't stop there. Each strand of hair is like a tube that transports moisture and brings in air. It's a mental object for your brain to kind of wrap around how the benefits of horsehair would even work in the product.
Medieval knights used shirts made from horsehair under their armor. It not only helped ventilate, but due to its strength, it also hindered enemy swords from penetrating. The clean wool is another ingredient that works as nature's own climate regulator. Ever since antiquity, man has known about the fantastic ability of wool to keep you warm when it's cold and cool when it's hot. You feel comfortable, always in the right temperature.
Again, appealing to both sides of the market to keep you cool when it's hot and also warm when it's cold. Whether they obviously understand the different parts of the market, whether you're a hot sleeper or a cold sleeper. And this talks about just keeping it completely perfect temperature, regardless of what the temperature or environment is that you're sleeping in.
Both wool and horsehair has been used to enhance sleeping since the days of Cleopatra. Flax, too, has beautified human life for centuries.
Now you'll see that like he's talking about knights and Cleopatra. This is the great storytelling mechanism. He's bringing in a lot of history and enchanting that story and talking about, hey, this isn't just like some recent obsession that people have been like infatuated with their sleep. No. Like this has been happening since there were knights and since Cleopatra existed.
Besides being enormously durable and flexible, it conducts away static electricity. Synthetic materials charge static electricity, but flax discharges it.
There we go again. So now we're also comparing against other products that are in the marketplace, saying that by using flax, that basically is not a conductor of static electricity, where if you use synthetic fibers, which guess what, most beds are made out of, is that they actually conduct static electricity. And then they're gonna further go on to build their case around how you don't want a bed that has that, to then further justifying the high price point.
That's one reason there is a flax mat between the spring systems in a Hästens bed. Sure, we want you to recharge your energy, but that should be your life energy, not static electricity. Hästens is the only bed maker that has achieved the honor and the right of being purveyor to the Royal Court of Sweden. And Hästens is the only bed maker whose every model has achieved the right to carry the Svanen sign. It means that they are not in any way a burden to the environment.
Building more social proof throughout, saying it's the only bed to be endorsed by the royal Swedish family.
Neither when they are made nor once they've done their job. Whenever that is. Still, no one knows how old a Hästens bed can become. There are actually around 1,000 Swedes still sleeping well in Hästen beds that are more than 50 years old. It goes without saying that a product made from nature is happy to take back.
Now we start talking about the longevity of the product, saying that there are over 1,000 Swedes who own a Hästens bed that they've been sleeping in for more than 50 years. Just kind of saying and talking about the lifespan of the actual product without directly saying, hey, like this bed's gonna last you 50 years.
Hästens is also the only bed maker that has got all its models approved according to Ökotex 100. 12 different research institutes in Europe stand behind Ökotex 100. And they often dismantle a product all the way down to the molecular level. Neither Svanen nor Ökotex could find any chemicals whatsoever that might be harmful to your health.
Perfect example of really expanding out on a corner piece of copy. It would be easy to say, okay, this bed has been certified by XYZ. They don't stop there. They take it one step further by really pulling back the onion even further and saying, no, that there are 12 independent bodies that vet that certification and expanding on, and then they look for these chemicals and they look for this. All of that just adds a lot of believability and adds a lot of depth to your claims. We're talking about something that is quite difficult to make claims around. So what they have chosen to do is actually talk about the extensiveness of that certification and what goes into actually getting that certification for their mattresses.
Of course they couldn't. Everything in a Hästens bed is there to promote your health. And Hästens is the only bed maker whose every model has met with Möbelfakta's highest quality standards. The Hästen beds have been subjected to a treatment that is many times worse than if you and your kids were to use it daily as a trampoline. But we didn't stop at that. We ourselves have tortured the beds with more cruelty than anybody else, just to make sure that they will stay in shape whatever you do in your bed. We have driven a car over it, back and forth, time after time. We have even dragged it behind a car on a dirt road with the soft side down. After a full kilometer, it was still intact.
demonstrable product benefits and really showing that, like, you know, not only have we tested this, but really not leaving anything to that person's imagination to think, okay, I wonder how they've tested it. Talking about, like, we've driven a car over it multiple times, that your children can jump on it as a trampoline. Not only that, we have attached the mattress to the back of the car and then driven it along a road for over a kilometer, and the whole thing is still intact. Is just using these extreme analogies and storytelling to showcase how well this product is made.
Now you understand how we can guarantee the frame and the springs in your Hästen bed for at least 25 years. We are 5 generations who have built beds for 150 years. You get to learn a few things in that time. And you probably realize that a Hästens cannot be a cheap bed to buy. But since you can count on it enhancing your nights for 25 years, it's a bargain.
There we go. All right, so at this point of the pitch where we're 75% of the way in, we're obviously thinking, like, I wonder how much this bed is. Like, the royal family is using it. They've been making these things for over 150 years. They're using all natural materials, horsehair. Like, this thing is indestructible. It comes with a 25-year structural guarantee. You're thinking, okay, this isn't gonna be cheap. And it just comes straight out and says it. Like, this isn't gonna be a cheap bed, but it is an absolute bargain based on the benefits that you get. So we're seeding in value, we're sitting in price, and we're building the status associated with a purchase like this.
Add to that the bonus of joy and health you get out of it. How much is great sleep worth?
Asking a great question. How much is great sleep worth, considering all the health benefits that you get as a result of it? Not telling you that it's worth it, just asking, having you arrive at that destination yourself as the viewer, rather than just screaming at you. Because don't get it twisted, this is a pull sale, it's not a push sale. Once you get to this kind of category of product cost, it's no longer about pushing the product. It's about pulling people in and having them buy into the story, and then being able to really make that emotional purchase and then justify that using logic. And that's why the storytelling component is so good, because emotionally you get so bought into the message that they're really propelling here. And then they're also giving you the ammunition to be able to justify that purchase with logic.
The pillow also plays an important role for your sound sleep. To make sure that not only your body but also your head gets the right kind of rest, we make the pillows ourselves. Nothing synthetic here either. Nothing but pure down is good enough. Pure, natural down.
So look, I'm not gonna play the entire VSL, but realistically, any business selling anything can really model and adapt this whole storytelling mechanism within their own business. Because one thing is for certain, the cost of traffic is gonna keep going up. The competition online is gonna keep getting more and more fierce. And the thing that you don't wanna be looking at is, how do I get an advantage in the ads manager, whether that's on Google or it's on Facebook or TikTok, or whatever the ad platforms are gonna really arise as the winners over the next 5 to 10 years. The thing that you really wanna be focused on is storytelling. Look at the biggest companies in the world, whether it's Apple or Tesla or Disney, and you'll have a look and you'll see an integral center part of all of those businesses is storytelling. And not only the storytelling that they tell to the marketplace to talk about their products and the overall mission and vision of their company, but also the stories within those companies that they tell to their team members, and getting everyone aligned around a central idea and then selling that idea. And storytelling, I believe, is the most under-indexed thing that business owners have on their mind that can really give them the most dividends for many, many years to come. And you should be really thinking about, from your ads to your landing pages, to your team onboarding, to the way that you interview people, is how is storytelling an integral part to that? Because if you're buying attention online and you're spending the same CPM cost as the next guy and as the next girl, then what really makes the difference? If the cost of attention is the cost of attention, it's the value that you can actually flip that attention and what conversions that you can get off the back of that. And this is not about putting really hypey words and buzzwords in headlines and using templates or using ChatGPT or any of those kind of things. It's really about fundamentally understanding your prospect and then compelling them through story and emotional story and taking them on highs and lows and peaks and troughs throughout that journey, and then peppering in justification with logic for them to take that next step that you want them to do. And having the ability to do this, literally, you just look at it from an ad level. I've had ads that using story alone have doubled ROAS, has increased throughput for sales by 300 to 400%. Just off the cheap words that you use, you can turn those things into millions. So I hope this story and this example today has given you some inspiration to look at your own business and look at it through the lens of being able to tell compelling stories and take people on an emotional ride and then justify that purchase decision with logic. Hey guys, if you're enjoying these videos, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell button as we're dropping a video like this every other day on YouTube. And if you've got any questions, just leave a comment below with hashtag HeySubri and I'll do my best to get to it.